Hello everyone. I am your instructor Professor Preeta Pillai, working as an assistant professor in KK Institute of Engineering, Education and Research, Nasik. In this video, we are going to have an introduction to internal combustion engine, also known as IC engine. IC engines are the most important topics of mechanical engineering. So let us have an introduction to this IC engine. Let us begin with the topics we are going to cover in this video. First we'll have an introduction to engine, then we'll see the classifications of heat engine, advantages of IC engine over EC engine, then the various engine components, and finally we'll see the engine terminologies. Let us begin with engine. Engine is a device which converts one form of energy into another form of energy. That means engine can convert chemical, thermal or electrical energy into another form of energy like work energy or power. Now on the basis of thermal energy, they are classified as heat engine. Heat engine is a device which transforms chemical energy of a fuel into thermal energy and uses this energy to produce mechanical work. These heat engines are further classified into two types: external combustion engine and internal combustion engine. External combustion engine. The name itself says that the combustion is taking place outside the cylinder. And in internal combustion engine means the combustion is taking place inside the cylinder. In earlier days, external combustion engines were used in locomotive trains. Around 40 to 50 years back, the steam engines which we were using was external combustion engines. But nowadays, we are using electric engines, that is, by using electric power, we run the train. Here in this figure, you can see that the combustion chamber is outside the cylinder. The heat energy of this combustion gas is supplied to the water. Water is converted into steam and steam is supplied as a fuel to the cylinder. Since combustion is taking place outside the cylinder, it is known as external combustion engine. Now this is the figure of internal combustion engine. In internal combustion engine, we are using fuels like petrol, diesel or gas. Here inside the cylinder, mixing and combustion of fuel takes place. Due to this combustion, high pressure is created, which in turn pushes this piston and rotates the crank, where work is done and mechanical power is produced. Remember, in external combustion engine, the working fluid is steam and it is obtained by burning coal or wood, and the temperature and pressure obtained here is lower. Whereas in internal combustion engine, working fluid may be petrol, diesel or various types of gases, and the temperature and pressure obtained here is higher. Now if we see about the space, external combustion engine require more space, so they are mainly used in steam power plants or gas power plants, whereas IC engine require less space and they are used in our vehicles like cars, bikes, buses, etc. These are the basic difference between external combustion engines and the internal combustion engines. Internal combustion engines are further classified into various categories. Let us see this one by one. First is according to the cycle of operations. They are classified as 4-stroke engines. In this engines, cycle is completed in 2 revolutions of the crank. Next, they are classified as 2-stroke engines. In this engine, cycle is completed in 1 revolution of the crank. Further, they are classified on the basis of the nature of thermodynamic cycle. They are classified as constant volume or Otto cycle, constant pressure or diesel cycle, and partially Otto and partially diesel cycle, also known as dual cycle. Now, according to the method of ignition, they are classified as spark ignition engine or SI engines. In spark ignition or petrol engines, air fuel mixture supplied by carburetor is ignited by producing spark. Next is the compression ignition, also known as CI engines. In compression ignition or diesel engines, air is compressed to higher pressure and in fine atomized form, fuel is injected in combustion chamber. Hence, air-fuel mixture is ignited without producing spark. Next, they are classified according to the number of cylinders as single cylinder engines and the multi-cylinder engines. Next classification is according to the type of cooling system. First is the air-cooled engines. In this type of engines, air is used for cooling purposes. Next is the water-cooled engines. In this type of engines, water jackets are provided around the cylinder to cool the engine. Now, according to the speed of engine, they are classified as low-speed engines, medium-speed engines, and high-speed engines. Next classification is according to the lubrication method. They are classified as wet sump lubrication, dry sump lubrication, and pressure lubrication. And finally, according to the fuel used, they are classified as petrol engine, diesel engine, and gas engines. These are the fuels which we used in the IC engine. So these are some of the classifications of internal combustion engine. Coming to the advantages of internal combustion engine over external combustion engine. Internal combustion engines are having greater mechanical simplicity as compared to external combustion engines. Internal combustion engines are compact and lighter in weight as compared to external combustion engines. In internal combustion engine, boiler and condenser are absent, whereas in external combustion engine, without boiler and condenser, it cannot operate. Internal combustion engines are having lower initial cost as compared to external combustion engines. If we talk about efficiency, internal combustion engines give higher overall efficiency as compared to external combustion engines. In internal combustion engines, less water are required for cooling as compared to external combustion engines. These are some of the advantages of internal combustion engines over the external combustion engines. Coming to the engine components. Internal combustion engines are basically classified into spark ignition engines, that is SI engine, and compression ignition engine, that is CI engines. This figure shows the cross-sectional view of SI engine, that is spark ignition engine. So let us see the various engine components. This is the engine cylinder. At the center, you can find the spark plug. There are two valves provided, inlet valve and the exhaust valve. This inlet valve is placed in the intake manifold and the exhaust valve is placed in the exhaust manifold. And the entire thing is placed on the cylinder head. Below the cylinder head, you can have cylinder block. This both sides. This is the cylinder block. And in the cylinder block, you can find the piston cylinder arrangement. And inside the cylinder block, in this portion, this is the combustion chamber where the combustion of fuel takes place, because of which power is generated and our engine runs. Below the cylinder block, you can find the crankcase. This is what you see. This is the crankcase, and inside the crankcase there is a crankshaft, connecting rod and gearbox are mounted in the crankcase. Now let us see these engine components with their basic definitions. First is the cylinder block. It is the main supporting structure for engine, which contains piston cylinder arrangement inside which the combustion of fuel takes place. Next is the cylinder head. This is the cylinder head which is mounted on the cylinder block. It contains valve mechanism like valve, seat valve, cam and follower, etc. Spark plug in case of petrol engine or fuel injector in case of diesel engine is also mounted on the cylinder head. Lubrication and cooling passages like fins and water jackets are also provided in the cylinder head. Next is the cylinder. This is a figure of the cylinder. This is the internal portion of the cylinder block, which is called the cylinder, and on the outer side you will find fins which is used for air cooling. Let us see its definition. Cylinder is a cylindrical vessel or space inside the cylinder block in which piston makes the reciprocating motion as well as the combustion of fuels takes place. Means cylinder is that cylindrical vessel inside which the piston reciprocates and the combustion of fuel takes place. The cylinder is made up of aluminum alloys for light duty vehicles like bikes and cast iron for heavy duty vehicles like buses. Next is the piston, which is a cylindrical component fitted into the cylinder to provide the reciprocating motion. These pistons transmit the force of explosion to the crankshaft via connecting rod. Piston also provides the slots for the piston rings. Pistons are made of aluminum alloys for light duty vehicles and stainless steel for heavy duty vehicles. You can see here 3 slots are provided for piston rings. Next is the piston ring. Piston rings are the expandable split rings fitted into the slots around the piston. These piston rings are provided to maintain the airtight seal between the piston and the cylinder wall. As there is some gap between piston and cylinder wall, to reduce the wear and tear, these gaps are filled by piston rings. They also provide the lubrication between piston and cylinder walls for smooth functioning of piston. Piston rings are commonly made of cast iron and forged and heat treated steel. In automobile engines, basically 3 rings are available. Top 2 rings are the compression rings and the bottom ring are oil control rings. You can see here in the bottom rings, that is oil control ring, some spring like coil is provided. It is for lubrication between the piston and the cylinder, whereas compression rings are primarily used for sealing the combustion chamber, that is to seal the gap between the cylinder and the piston. Next is the combustion chamber. It is the area or enclosed space within the cylinder where the air-fuel mixture is ignited. That is, combustion of air-fuel mixture takes place. In IC engine, space above the piston within the cylinder is taken as combustion chamber. Next is the inlet and exhaust manifold. Inlet manifold is passage or pipe used to supply the air-fuel mixture to the engine cylinder. This is the inlet manifold. That is, the air-fuel mixture required for combustion are supplied to the cylinder through the inlet manifold. Next is the exhaust manifold. It is the passage or pipe used to remove the burn or flue gases from the engine cylinder. This is the exhaust manifold. That is, after combustion, the burnt gases which are there inside the cylinder are removed through the exhaust manifold. Next is the inlet and exhaust valve. Inlet and exhaust valves are usually poppet shaped. You can see here it is the poppet shape, and the inlet valves are opened to allow the flow of an air-fuel mixture into the engine cylinder prior to compression or ignition, while the exhaust valves opens to permit the expulsion of the exhaust gases from the combustion chamber. These are the inlet and the exhaust valve. And also this inlet and exhaust valves are made of nickel chromium based steels. Next is the spark plug. It is the part that fits into the cylinder head of an internal combustion engine and carries two electrodes by an air gap across which the current from the ignition system discharges to form the spark for combustion. And to produce spark, a spark gap is generally kept between the central electrode and the ground electrode. Remember 2 points in case of spark plug. First point is spark gap should be 0.6 to 1 mm and the sparkling voltage should be 10,000 to 15,000 volts. Next is the connecting rod. It is the I cross-sectional link used to transmit the force given by the piston to the crank. It has two ends, big and the small end. Small end is connected to the piston with the help of the gudgeon pin, and big end is connected to the crank with the help of the crank. Next, coming to the crank and crankshaft. Crank is a mechanical link which is used to convert the reciprocating motion of the piston into rotary motion, and also used to convert the force of piston into torque of crankshaft with the help of the connecting rod. Now in this figure you can see that this is the connecting rod, this is the crank, and this is the crankshaft. Now its one end is connected, this is the crank, its one end is connected to the connecting rod with the help of the crank pin, and the another end it is cast to the crankshaft. Remember, crank and the crankshaft are cast to each other, they are not the separate components. Next is the crankcase. It is the lowest part of the cylinder block or engine which supports and encloses the crankshaft and camshaft. If we see, the function of the crankcase is to store the lubricating oil required for lubrication for engine parts, and it also protects the engine parts from dust, moisture and splashing mud. Next, coming to the flywheel. It is a heavy ballast disc at the end of the crankshaft. It is also known as energy storing device. So flywheel is used to store the energy during the power stroke and return back the stored energy to piston during the compression stroke and exhaust stroke for providing the uniform motion of the piston. Remember, the power is generated only during the power stroke. So all the power which is being produced during the power stroke will be stored in this flywheel, and for the continuous or for the smooth running of the engine, this stored power will be given during the other strokes, that is suction, compression and exhaust stroke, where the power will not be generated. This stored energy or the stored power stored energy during the power stroke will be given to the engine for its smooth running. So these are some of the engine components with its basic definition. Next, coming to the various terminologies used in IC engines. Knowing terminology is very important in case of studying IC engines. So let us see some of these terminologies. First, beginning with the cylinder bore. The inner diameter of the cylinder is known as the bore and it is denoted by D. Next is the dead center. The extreme position occupied by the piston at the end of its stroke, where the center line of the connecting rod and the crank are in the same straight line, then it is known as the dead center. There are two dead centers. First one is the top dead center. In vertical engine, the extreme position of the piston near to the cylinder, this is the cylinder head, and the extreme position of the piston near to the cylinder head is called the top dead center, and it is denoted by TDC. Whereas in horizontal cylinder, they are known as the inner dead center or IDC. Next type is the bottom dead center. In vertical engines, the extreme position of the piston near to the crankshaft is called the bottom dead center, and it is denoted by BDC. Whereas in horizontal cylinder, they are known as outer dead center and denoted by ODC. So remember, there are two dead centers, top dead center and the bottom dead center. Top dead center is the extreme position near to the cylinder head, whereas bottom dead center, it is the nearest position when the piston is nearest to the crankshaft. Next is the stroke length. The linear distance between the top dead center and the bottom dead center is known as the stroke length, and it is denoted by L. Remember, if the cylinder bore, this is the cylinder bore which is denoted by D, and if this D is equal to L, then the engine is called square engine. Similarly, if this L is 2 times the cylinder bore, then the engine is called undersquare engine. Also, if D is 2 times of L, then it is called oversquare engine. Next is the clearance volume. The volume of the cylinder above the top of the piston when the piston is at top dead center is called the clearance volume. Now this piston, when it is in this position, there will be some gap between the piston head and the cylinder head. So this gap is known as the clearance volume, and it is denoted by VC. Next is the swept volume. The total volume swept by the piston when it moves from top dead center to bottom dead center is called swept volume. Now this is the top dead center and this is the bottom dead center. So this volume from the top dead center to bottom dead center is known as the swept volume, and it is denoted by Vs. And the total volume of the cylinder will be equal to the clearance volume plus swept volume. So total volume is equal to Vc plus Vs. Next is the compression ratio. It is the ratio of total cylinder volume when the piston is at BDC to the clearance volume when piston is at TDC, and it is denoted by RC. That is compression ratio. You can write it as total volume upon clearance volume. So the compression ratio is total volume, that is Vs plus Vc, upon the clearance volume. So these are some of the terminologies which we use in the internal combustion engines and which are very important to known by the each one of you. In this video, we have seen the basics of internal combustion engine. Also, we have seen the classifications of internal combustion engine along with the various components definition and the materials which is being used for preparing that components. Also, we have seen the terminologies which are being used in the internal combustion engine. So, hope you have understood and all the basic concepts has been cleared by this video. So, thank you and see you in my next video. So, bye for now.